Hello everyone and welcome to a reading wrap up. This one is, as you can tell from the title, is for Bookemon. This is December was a kickoff readathon. A little kind of like a mini readathon took place for the whole month of December. I am filming this on December 27th and I have completed all of the prompts. I am so happy. There were 12 prompts, but then a little later in the month we got 4 prompts that were released that were December themed specific. And by doing those prompts, we got a December Christmassy type Bookemon that's only released during this time of year. I'm guessing if I'm understanding correctly. So I got the special Bookemon. So let's go ahead and get started. This was created by Merb for Reading with Merb. I will link the channel and the announcement video for the year-long Bookemon in the description box, as well as the other hosts if I can get to their channels as well, which I do believe will not be a problem. So I will do that as well for the co-hosts. So let's go ahead and delve right on in. So book number 1, this was going to vary. Prompt number 1, this is going to vary because you needed to pick what team you're going to be a part of to get your special edition Bookemon. So there's 2 Bookemons that are released during December. And so there's Moonstone, Skystone, and Earthstone. So you had to choose. For me, I was looking at that, I was going, okay, it's obviously going to be Sky or Moon, and I tend to like the look of the moon better, so I went with the Moonstone. The prompt for Moonstone is to read a book that has a moon on the cover. For this one, I read an ebook, and it is Adam Gold by Sara J. Bernhardt. I gave this book 4 stars, and it was 133 pages, and it is a vampire short story. I am not going to go into a lot of specifics. I do want to figure how many pages I have read for a particular readathon. So that was 133 pages, so I will be adding on my calculator the number of pages. So Adam Gold is first in, is it a trilogy or is it 5 books? I don't really remember, but short story, vampire. Okay, now the rest of the prompts anyone can do, because they are not team specific. So it's only either the Moonstone, Skystone, or Earthstone are team specific. So I am on the Moonstone or the Moon team. And now the prompts are to get your tools that you need to help lure out the Bookemon that you will be trying to get for all of 2024. So December, you're getting your tools, and then you'll be on the hunt to get your items to help finish out luring on whatever Bookemon you can get for 2024, because that part takes place during the entire year of 2024. And there will be, if I remember right, additional, like for December, little mini readathons to get special edition items or tools or a Bookemon or something, but there'll be other mini readathons is my understanding. And you really need to watch the announcement video to know more about that. Okay, so to get binoculars, we had to read the last book in a series. For this one, I read Cat Massage Therapy Volume 3. As of right now, it is the last book in the series. I don't know if the series is complete, but it is completely up to date. There's no announcement for a 4th one, nothing like that. So I am counting it as complete. I honestly don't really see what else can be done. So I would be surprised if there's going to end up being any more. But let me double check and see. Let's see. I'm just checking on the very last page. No, it doesn't say anything. So as of right now, this is the last book. Again, there is no announcement or anything for Volume 4. I have not heard anything. So as of right now, this is the last book. This is a manga, And this was written by Haru Hisakawa. And this is a contemporary with fantastical elements because these cats can talk. In this particular edition, there's also dogs, and they can talk as well. So they can actually communicate with the humans. And it is such a fun, very cute. You have adult cats and you have kittens. Very cute. I ended up giving this one 5 stars, and this was 125 pages. Okay, prompt number 3 that I have written down was to get the bag. And this is to read an entire book in public that you or someone else would be embarrassed to be seen with. So my mind immediately goes to a book for a steamy romance that has a little bit more of a risque cover, which is what I went with. And I went with Changing the Player by Jacob Chance. As you can see, we've got a bare-chested man on the front. Definitely something that I can see someone being embarrassed to read out in public. So I ended up giving this one 4 stars. This is a romance. It is a steamy romance. The romance is between Nadia and Flynn. Flynn is a football player and Nadia is his agent, and it's a fake dating romance. Again, steamy. Okay, be aware of that. And this is book number 1 in the, starts with a C. Charleston Pirates. And then book 2 will be like a companion book to this. I don't know if they're going to follow the same events or if the characters in this will pop up in the next book or whatever. So, but I do have the second book ready to go. I ended up giving this one 4 stars, and this one was 216 pages. The next item is to get the packed lunch and water. And this is to eat a favorite food. So this one, I was like, okay, what's some of my favorite food? I enjoy pizza. My favorite meal is country fried steak. So it's just like a thin piece of steak that's breaded, and then you have the white country gravy so it's got a little bit of a spice to it. To have that with mashed potatoes, love it. Unfortunately, could not do that. So my mom had surgery on her foot, and so we're kind of very careful with how long we are outside of the house because she needs to rest her foot and things like that. So I thought, okay, so what's my holiday favorite food? Well, I don't really have a holiday favorite meal. No, I take that back. I do not. Not really. I do not have a holiday favorite food. Because the way I said it before, I was thinking, oh, maybe, you know, kind of wishy-washy. But no, I don't have a holiday favorite meal. But I do have a holiday favorite food, and that's these Lindor chocolates, and it is a peppermint truffle. Oh my heck. They are only released in December for the holiday season. I still have 2 unopened bags and 1 bag. So I am like, I don't even eat them every day because I want to savor them. Oh my heck, I love them. If you're in America, because I don't know what it's like outside of the US, but in America we have these Girl Scout cookies, and there are these thin mint chocolate ones, and that is what these Lindor mint truffles taste like to me, except they taste better than those. So I absolutely love them. So that had some, and I am still working my way through one of the bags. Absolutely love those. So that's my favorite December treat to have. So got that one done. So far I've gotten everything that I'm supposed to. Prompt number 5, and these are in no particular order, is to get the shoes. And this is to share a photo of your favorite socks or your shoes. So there is a Discord. If I can, I will link the Discord for the Bookemon in the description box. So I took a picture of my socks, and I love all of my socks. I do not have a favorite pair of socks. I'm not big into shoes, so I don't have a favorite pair of shoes, but socks I really enjoy. But they have to be fun. So I do not own zip, zilch, nada, nothing. I do not own any that are plain. So plain brown, plain black, plain white. I own none of that. They all have a design. Every single one of them. And I have holiday themed specific socks. I have a lot of Christmas socks, Halloween. I do have some Thanksgiving socks. I have some Easter socks. And then I have some generic that I can wear all through the year. Some with cats. I have one with Bob Ross. I have one with grilled cheese sandwiches. I have one with the dogs. So they're all fun. So I just took a picture of a random pair of socks that I was wearing and posted those on Discord. So that one's done. Got my shoes. The next item is a hat, and this is to read outside for 6 hours, or to read inside but with outdoor ambiance. And that is what I had to do because I am in the northern hemisphere and it is cold. It's winter. So I cannot sit outside and read a book. So we had to do that for 6 hours. But again, for those of us where it's winter, like if you live in Australia, right now it's summer, absolutely you can go outside and sit outside and not freeze your tuchus off. So you'll just get really hot and melt. So I stayed inside, outdoor ambiance. I did rain, I did the ocean, I did a babbling brook, I did, what's the other one I did? Rain, babbling brook, ocean, and campfire is another one. So I just used my little Echo Dot, put on one of those sounds, and read for 6 hours. So that prompt is complete. I've got my hat. Next is to get the sunscreen. And this is to read a book that is 50% or more white on the cover. This one I went with Saddie by Courtney Summers. This one has a podcast element. YA, the language is a little bit more rough, so I would say more, and especially because of the content where it deals with sexual assault and murder of a child. Definitely older YA. You definitely need to be more mature YA for the content and possibly some of the language on this, depending on that. So it is a little bit rougher, but I would say definitely, especially due to the content, more mature YA. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I think I built this one up in my head more, and so it was a little bit let down. So I think it was kind of hyped so much that my expectations were a little too high. So I ended up giving one 3 stars. I still enjoyed it. I will read more books by this author. And this one was 308 pages. The next prompt was to get a tent. And this is to read a book about characters that are on vacation. So for this one, I went with Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is told in a dual timeline, all one POV. And the main character does go on vacation with her friends and their partners in life. You do have a female-female relationship in this with one of the main character's friends. And the main character has an ex-fiance that shows up, but no one in the friend group knows that they are no longer engaged and they had a falling out. And so they're just kind of rediscovering themselves. This was my first Emily Henry, and I've got to say I giggled at several points in this book, and will definitely be picking up more of Emily Henry's work. I had a great time with this. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. They are on vacation at this little vacation house for a last hurrah at this vacation house because the father of one of the main character's friends is selling the property, so they're there for one last vacation. 385 pages. Okay, the next prompt is to obtain the tool of an umbrella, and this is to read a book that is, the prompt is 250 page or more page book during reading sprints. And so I just Googled reading sprints. I could not watch them live. I had to go back and watch them because a lot of these reading sprints took place while I was working. So I could not do it while they were live. So I had to go back and rewatch it. So the entire book that I read was Brutal Obsession by S. Massery. This is a very, very spicy romance, and I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It's the book number 1 in the Hockey Gods series. And the next one is, I don't remember the title now, but I did get the second book. I loved this one so much. It is very dark. It's like a bully possession type romance, very dark. You have knife play, blood play. You have a scene that was going to lead to a potential rape. It does involve a date rape drug. It is very dark. So the main character, male, is Grayson, and he is involved in hockey, and it looks like all of the books, because it's the Hockey Gods series, all the male main characters will be involved in hockey. So this is a sports romance, and his dad is like the New York mayor or something like that, something big in the political sphere. So things get swept under the rug that shouldn't. And the main female character, her name was Violet, and she's in ballet. So yeah, so Brutal Obsession, 4 stars, 585 pages. So definitely got my umbrella. Next up was to get the tool of a sleeping bag, and this is to share a photo of your favorite reading spot. Well, my favorite reading spot is my bed, so I just made sure that my bed was made, took a picture of that, and shared that on the Discord group. So I got my sleeping bag. The next tool we need is the notebook, and this is to write and share a book review. I do that on Goodreads. So, and then I talk about the books that I read with my mom. So that's like every book. I'm like, oh, I like this. I think you would like this. Or no, this is not for you because it's spicy. It's dark. She does not like dark books at all. She wants them light and fluffy. So that was an easy peasy one for me. Next tool is the flashlight, and this is to draw or create and share a picture of me as a character. I am very, like, I will share my TBR board game when I draw those. Outside of that, I am very self-conscious of my drawing, especially when it involves characters or people. So I shared it with my cat. I'm like, look, Ophelia, this is me as a character. And it was a stick figure because I can't draw people. So it was a stick figure, and that's as good as that is going to get. So I shared it with my cat, and I am counting that as done. So those are the original 12 prompts. Again, the only one that was going to vary is depending on if you wanted the sky stone or the earth stone instead of the moonstone. That's the only prompt that will vary. Everything else is the same. And so I got my moonstone, and I've got all the tools. So I've got my moonstone specific Bookemon. I have all the tools to help get the rest of the Bookemon out during the rest of the 2024. And I am happy. Now, for the December themed Bookemon, 4 prompts. One is Candy Cane, and this is to read a book set during the celebration. This one did take place in part during a celebration, but it turned out it was only a couple of chapters in the book, but I'm still going to count it because I expected it to be more, especially because of the title. I read The Surprise Party. Parties are a celebration. So this is by R.L. Stine, and this is book number 2 in the original Fear Street world. And I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed this one. This was 167 pages. I will say, again, the party was maybe 3 chapters out of the whole book and was at the end. The rest of the time it was dealing with a lot of threats and warnings to not plan the party, to not have a party. And this particular party, there's 2 parties that take place. One is a end of year congratulations senior graduation type party, and then the other, and that was like 1 chapter or half of a chapter, and then the other party was a welcome back type of a party. So like, we've missed you and we've missed having our friend around type of a surprise party. So that's what that one, so I will count this one for that. So again, this one was 167 pages. Prompt number 2 for the December specific themed Bookemon is Pudding, and this is to read a book that has red and green on the cover. For this one I went with an ebook, and that is The Mistletoe Bet by Maren Moore. This is a spicy short story, and basically you have the female main character is the Grinch, does not believe in the holiday spirit. And the main male character is a doctor in this small town, and he is full of the Christmas jolly spirit. So he's going to make her try to fall in love again with the holiday season. They meet under the mistletoe. They make their bet under the mistletoe. She doesn't think he can change her. He thinks he can. And so they make a bet underneath the mistletoe after they kiss. And that's it. And then they meet under the mistletoe again. Again, by Maren Moore. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. There is another book in this series, so it is book 1 in a series. And again, it is a short story, so it was only 131 pages. Prompt number 3 was gingerbread. This is to eat a sweet that you love. My birthday was December 15th. So the one sweet that I have in December that I really love is cheesecake. Now, cheesecake in general can be very heavy and very rich. My favorite is just this boxed cheesecake mix that you can get from the store. That's what I have for my birthday every year. I absolutely love it. It's not as heavy, it's not as rich, it's very light and kind of fluffy, and I absolutely love it. So that is my sweet that I love. I only have that on my birthday every year. So, got the gingerbread. And the last prompt for the December themed Bookemon is the Santa hat. This is to read 5 hours during Brittany Loves reading sprints. So again, this is the same situation. I had to go back and watch them. I could not do it live because I was working. And I got the 5 hours. So for 4 of the hours, I did, oh shoot, I didn't write how many pages or anything. Hang on, gotta go to Goodreads. I did an ebook for this. And this is actually book 1 in a series. Where's my pen? I ended up giving this book 5 stars. And it was this a novella? Yes, so it was 182 pages. And there's like 5 books in this series, and the series is called the Sugar Plum Sparks Romantic Comedy Series. This is a sweet romance. There was no steam. The most explicit you get is like holding hands and maybe a quick peck on the cheek or peck on the lips, and that's it. So very sweet. You have a granddaughter. She lost her grandma, so she's gotten to be a little bit overprotective of her grandfather, to the point that you could classify her in some situations as a Karen. And then you have this artist guy that lives across from her grandpa. He has his honorary godmother appears because he had a little bit rough childhood. She was always there for him. So his godmother Val meets her grandfather named Charles. The 2 elderly people they just leave a note and they go on this Christmas adventure, kind of a last hurrah type of a thing. And then of course the granddaughter and the artist have to get together. She forces his hand into it to try to follow them on this Christmas adventure. You see lessons learned and things like that. And this is by Christine S. Feldman. Very sweet. I was giggling throughout this entire book. Like, it was so funny. I was giggling and giggling. So yeah, it was a great read. Very fun, very sweet. Again, 5 stars, 182 pages. So now let me go back to my calculator and add the 182. So I read for December for Bookemon 2,232 pages. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, let me know. Have you read any of these books? Oh, and I forgot. So the prompt that I had to read 5 hours for Brittany Loves reading to get the Santa hat, to get the December themed Pokemon. So again, the 4 hours I read was for Christmas on Overdrive. That was actually just shy of the 4 hours. There was no audiobook available for that. But to get the rest of the 5 hours, I worked on Shadowfever by Karen Marie Moning. I did not count the pages on this one because I am still reading this one. So, but probably about around 150 between 150 to 200 pages to get the last, to finish that prompt. So instead of the 2232, probably closer to 2350 or something like that for the pages. But I am working on this one, and this is book number 5 in, what is the name of the series? Fae Fever, Dream Fever. Oh, it's just the Fever series. So yeah, so that Shadowfever, I am working on this one, and this is a library edition. So yeah, so that's the other book. So I did do all 5 hours for the Brittany Loves reading sprints. Have you read from any of these authors before? Are you participating in Bookemon? Have you gotten all your tools? Are you missing just a few? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later. And thank you, Merb, for putting this together. It was really fun, and I'm really looking forward to continuing on in 2024.